What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Mad Skills Motocross World Championship 2019. We are coming to you live from sunny Stockholm, Sweden, and that is the trophy on screen right now that all of these fantastic competitors are playing it out for. They want to hold that above their heads when it's all said and done at the end of this weekend. My name is Parla and I have some hair in my mouth and I am your desk host for the duration of this weekend, and I'm joined on the desk once again by Joe and Birdshaw. Welcome, gentlemen. How is it to be here in Stockholm?
Great. I love this. Awesome time of the year.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you guys back. I'm sure most of our audience at home knows who you are, but would you like to share a bit of information on yourselves?
Yeah, so I'm Joe. I'm one of the level designers for Turborilla. Me and a bunch of other guys have been working hard the last few months to get these tracks ready, and I'm excited to see what these guys do on them.
And I'm Birdshaw, and I'm the name changer guy and the banner guy.
Yeah, well, welcome. It's nice to see you both again. I was here last year. We had a fierce competition. We have some returning names from that final, and we have some new ones as well. I can't wait to see how everything plays out. Let's take a look at the schedule. Okay, so yeah, two-day competition. We start with the points day today. We see 6 rounds with a little break at 6 p.m. And then they move on to day 2 tomorrow, which is the bracket day. And it all culminates with a grand final at 8 p.m. The round time is 45 minutes, and it's a relatively similar format to last year, correct?
I think it's the exact same.
Okay, yeah. Cool. And we have the prize pool on screen now. $30,000, ladies and gentlemen, on the line. $10,000 for first place. A lot to play for, as well as the bragging rights. This is the point system, and so from 1st to 12th place, we have a descending point scale from 20 points for first. Last year, it was very competitive. You know, there were some front runners that were sort of dominating the pack, but between them, it was really down to the wire who could win it. And I imagine with the new competition and the older returning competitors that we might see the same fire this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We have eight players returning, 4 new ones. But I mean, I think it's really anybody's game. Only 4 guys are getting knocked out between the end of today. 8 move on.
Yeah.
But any of these 4 could be before they get knocked out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting point within itself, Birdshaw, that we have 8 people returning. Have those guys managed to keep up the skills that they've had over the last year?
I'm sure they have. They've been going at it at different paces, but when the push comes to shove, they're the fastest.
And then, Joe, we're going to take a specific look at each individual player shortly, but the newer players that have jumped into the scenes, how long have these guys been playing? Is it a long, hard slog where it started to pay off, or are some of them like new, like maybe they've only been playing the game for a shorter period of time?
I think Cole is maybe the newest and been playing the shortest, and I want to say it's like 2 years or less he's been playing the game. The game's been out for 5 years, and then the original Mad Skills Motocross was out before that. So, like James Lambert, Master 52, he's been playing the longest. I mean, he played since the original, so he's probably got 8 years under his belt compared to Cole, who's maybe got 2. So we'll see what happens.
And that's an interesting dynamic, right? The veterans that have been playing the game for so long versus the newer guys. Is there a difference in technical ability, or do they all sort of focus on the same skill sets?
I mean, I definitely think some guys are better at some things than others. There's so many little things about this game that you have to be good at.
But we have Master 52. He's the wheelie king.
Yep.
Yeah. We've got Nathan on screen right now. Everybody is getting ready for the first track. Let's remind everybody at home that these tracks that Joe has developed specifically for this tournament have never been played before. And so all our riders come to the tracks. I mean, they'll have expectations, but they won't know exactly what's about to happen. We saw last year many surprises, and some tracks proved extremely difficult for our riders. And I think it's a great way to really test their mettle when they come to these tracks that they've never seen before, Joe.
Yeah, not only have they never seen them, but when they play, they're only going to see their own replay. So they're only playing against themselves. So they can't go and find other lines from other players. It's not like Jam where you can go see the top time and see what everyone's doing. You gotta be creative. You gotta find the line. You gotta hit the line. You gotta execute. And the end of the day, whoever finds the line and hits it the correct way is going to go on.
We see Lorenzo there chilling. Lolo, heard you had a big night last night. So, yeah. Hopefully he's going to, still have the skills. He's looking relaxed, which is good. Bertrand, what can you tell me about Helito BMX? He's one of the returning players from last year. He was, if I remember correctly, like a middle-of-the-pack sort of player. He had some good tracks, and then other times he didn't sort of execute as he needed.
Well, he is one of the guys that's been going really hard in both Jam and Cash. He's usually right up there in the top. So he's a dark horse for the championship.
Joe, do you agree?
For sure.
Agree, yep. Uh-oh. We have an invisible player.
That's Bragstad.
Bragstad. What place did he get last year? It was top 3, right? Top 3 or top 5? He had a good performance. Fourth, there we go, just outside the top. But I know that he's a very strong player, one of the European representatives.
He was the champion.
He was a champion from the first season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Joshua Scrubs, sucking on a lollipop.
Yep.
Chilling out. Peace signs up, buddy.
Pearly whites, the dental hygienist.
I love the fact that last season, guys, at home, if you didn't tune in, I hope you did, we were in a separate studio to the players, and so I'm enjoying being in the mix. It's the same as any sort of esport where you have the crowd or the players close to you. You get that energy and you really feel what's going on. What do you think, Joe and Birchall?
Yeah, I like it. The first year we were with them, and it was tough because there was things I wanted to talk about the tracks, but I didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
But now this year, they're actually going to be blasting music at these guys when they play, so they're not going to be able to hear what we're talking about, so we can talk whatever we want.
Yeah.
But it is going to be nice energy down here with them.
And there's the legend himself on screen. Good to see you again, James, Master 52. Stoic, calm, collected. Great on camera as well. I hope we can get him on the desk at some point.
Is the wife watching back home, James?
Hopefully. Got to bring home the trophy for her, buddy. All right, up next we see Cole. Youngest player I think so.
17. About to turn 18 in like 9 days, I think. Has been taking the mad skills motocross.
But he looks about 10 years older than James.
Yeah, pretty much.
James has eternal youth, I think.
He does.
He's unlocked, so maybe it's mad skills. You play the game, you get the skills, and you get the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Solmek there.
He's another new rookie.
A new rookie, one of the 4.
He was actually our last-minute sub-in.
Yeah, can you tell me a bit about that? What exactly happened there?
We had a player that couldn't make it for reasons that I'm not actually sure about. So Solmek was next in line.
Unfortunate for him, but very fortunate for Solmek.
Yeah.
Imagine if he came through. That'd be quite the story.
Peralta.
A Filipino.
Yeah, we've had Seth come in over from the Philippines. How does he do on the ladder in Cash and in Jam?
He's up there. He's always up there. Like he's a name we've known for years.
Okay.
But
we've not had him at the tournament so far.
No surprise that he made it this year, and he definitely could be one of the front runners. We'll see.
He was super close to making it last year, but didn't.
And what was the selection process for the players? I mean, it's not so much a selection process as more of a qualifying. Maybe enlighten everybody at home about that.
Yeah, so Zach obviously was invited back because he was last year's world champion.
Yeah.
Auto invite. Then we had a special jam round where the top 3 players overall would get invited. And I think for that, it was Zelly,
Braggy, and Cole.
Those 3 made it in the jam round. And then we had the top 64 from that jam round were put into a bracket, 3-round bracket, 1v1. And at the end of that, we got 8 winners, and those are the other 8 guys who were invited.
Okay. And that's the reigning champion on screen, Zach, an absolute beast on... with a lot of haters behind him right now. But yeah, Zach, the reigning champion, he had monstrous performances last year. Looking forward to seeing that young man do some damage again this year.
Yeah, he's definitely got the skills to back it up.
We do have access to our chats, our Twitch and YouTube chats on screen, by the way. So if you'd like to interact with Joe, Bertrand, or myself, please do go ahead. We can field questions even. Let's have some fun, Say hello and we'll
tag us.
We'll have a conversation.
Tag at MadSkillsMX or Turborilla Games or whatever, so we can filter it out. Yep, thanks.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm really looking forward. So, are we in? Create a hashtag, says my producer. Yeah.
We do have a hashtag, MSMWC. MSM, Mad Skills Motocross, WC.
Oh, yeah,
World
MSM
Championship.
WC.
So hashtag MSM WC for anything.
Yeah, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I was about to say, are we allowed to talk about the first track yet before these guys got into it?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, sweet. So maybe in general terms so they can't overhear and expect stuff. But, Joe, what have you cooked up on this first track?
The first track is designed by me. It's called Real Peach because it's the easiest track of the bunch. It's fairly easy. It's about a minute long. These guys will probably do it in 55 seconds. 2 laps. It's one of two lappers for the event. But it's simple. Wheelie, scrub.
All right, so you want to start things off like relatively simply. Was that the idea going into it?
A little warm up. I think some of these guys, they get a little nervous. They get the jitters. So I figured, let's hit them with something easy. Get them into the use of the flow. Maybe, rookies. It's a different ball game playing against yourself the whole time, and you don't see anyone else's time. So
unusually nice of you, Joe, to start things off with a peach. Birdshaw, I'm sure you've had a chance to take a look at the tracks or play them.
Yeah, I have.
What do you think of the peach, the first map?
The first track, it is relatively easy. Even I could do it, so they'll absolutely shred it.
No rockets or rockets?
I didn't have to use rockets on this one.
It's not too bad.
What are you guys' times on the map? You said it's roughly a minute long, so I'm interested.
I think actually the team has my time if they want to roll. I don't know if they can play that, but
we can maybe get it queued up. Either way, we'll sort that stuff out over the course of the weekend. But I'm just curious about what your time is, because I know that you lay down some pretty good time, but these guys are a next level, even compared to the map maker god himself.
I don't even think I can see my time.
I think you can.
Both of the guys just playing mad skills at the desk. I'll stand here and talk to camera.
My time was deleted.
Whilst they have some fun.
Someone deleted my time.
Yeah. But guys, I'm really excited to be back because last year it was my first chance to check the game out, and it was post the event they actually started playing it a bit, and it really gave me a massive appreciation for how, it's very easy to get into. The game's very satisfying and addictive to play, but the skill ceiling is vast. The different maneuvers that the guys have to do and how accurate, but also the creativity involved in finding, the lines that you and the map track maker, is that the right term?
Yep,
track maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, track makers put out. It really sort of enlightened me into how much work that these guys put in.
Yeah. Did you ever make it to Division 1 in Jam?
I can't remember if I made it to Division 1. I was just working my way through the tracks and trying to destroy all my friends' times, which I'd linked up to with the Facebook feature, right? Yeah. That was fun. It was always nice, because then you can compare how other people are doing it. Maybe, obviously I was slightly benefiting from the fact that I could just message Joe a lot of the time and be like, yo, I'm struggling on this.
I need a faster bike.
What's this line like? And got hooked up with that stuff. I genuinely, it's an awesome game. I'm happy to play it now, so I know a bit more about it.
I'd like to see you in Saticus, a little 1v1.
I beat... if Matt's watching, he can attest to this or deny it, but I beat a lot of his shadows. But I think maybe we were relatively similar skilled at the point that I was playing.
Yeah.
I would like to do a 1v1 with Matt on that. In real life, he'll absolutely destroy me any sort of motorsport, but I think on Mad Skills, I could still do some work on the tracks versus him.
I just checked my time. It's a whopping 105.
That's terrible. I think mine was around 57 or 58.
57, 58.
Cutler has a time of 57 seconds.
So Cudla, if you guys don't know, Cudla was here last year.
I remember the name.
And the year before, I believe.
Yeah.
He didn't make it here this year. Who beat him in the... Sir Scrubs a lot beat him in the bracket round. But he's also one of our track designers. So
oh, yeah, I remember.
He made a bunch of these tracks, and he helped test them all. So we kind of used his times to guide us.
Okay.
Since he is actually easily top 20 player.
Yeah. That makes sense then, that because he didn't qualify, you could use his knowledge, right? Because if he'd qualified here, he wouldn't have been able to build the map.
No, obviously not. Yeah.
Joe was really stoked that
I was kind of like, I was like, I kind of want you to make it, but I kind of don't. Yeah. So
nice. Well, hopefully he's watching at home, and we'll get you back in at some point. His maps then, how do they compare to yours in style, Joe?
His are harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insane.
But we actually did something interesting this year where a lot of us teamed up and made tracks together. So Matt and I actually have a track together. It's going to be the third track today. So I made half, he made half. It's kind of a fun thing we did. So we got a bunch of those. Nice.
Yeah, the players now waiting in the wings, trying to focus, get ready for this first track. And can you I don't want to talk about them too much before we get to them, because I always like sort of the surprise or reveal of each track as we get to them. But talk in general terms about what else we have in store over the weekend in terms of the tracks.
They are hard.
Harder than last year?
I think overall as a bunch, they're harder than last year overall. But I think when you break it down to like maybe the hardest track this year might not be as hard as the hardest track last year.
Okay.
But I think overall these are longer. They're a lot more lines.
Yeah, flowy also.
Yeah. This year I really wanted like close races. I didn't want it to be something super technical and crazy where it's spread out. So they're more flowy, hopefully closer races, but kind of a longer track. Okay,
cool. Longer tracks, I remember, they were pretty grueling because you have to be so specific with what you're doing. You know, if it's like a shorter track or just a couple laps, you get that opportunity to reset easier. Whereas a longer track, especially for these guys working on a time limit, it's tough. And here we go. Track 1. Just Peachy. What was it? The Peach?
Real Peach.
Real Peach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So who are we watching here? Guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. We need some.
Whoever's on the right, is that?
Yeah, we're not sure exactly who we're on board with right now. Maybe our producer can tell us. Oh, there we go. Zele and Zach. Two Z's, but we're not going to be falling asleep tonight. I mean, today. We will fall asleep tonight, eventually, when we go to bed. But right now, no Z's in the studio.
Those are the two people on the featured table, right up front, duking it out. Of course, they're not actually racing each other. They're just racing the clock.
Yeah.
This whole first day.
I'm not sure. Maybe they can double check this, but I'm not sure the right one actually is Zach, because that pop-up for the lap is in a different language, and I know Zach speaks English. So unless he changed his language, then we might have a little mix-up on the screen.
I doubt it.
I mean, eventually we'll be able to tell who each rider is based on their skin choice, their outfit choice.
Yeah. We have Seeley with the Turborilla bike.
Someone has set a time here. I don't think. Oh, there we go.
There we go. And yeah, taking a look at the track, it does look like you've taken it relatively cautious on this first track. It does look like a nice sort of ease into the madness that we've come to expect from you and the other track makers' creations.
Yeah, but that's one of the hallmarks of the top guys, that they just look incredibly composed when they're racing. Really flowy, no sudden movements, just keeping it low.
See the times coming in there up on the top left of your screen. That's the running leaderboard.
Yeah. I'm just going to move something slightly out of the way. I'm going to take... Yeah, can we move that? There's something in blocking my view of the screen. I just want to move slightly. Thanks very much. There we go.
Of course, Disaster 52's in last place, you know.
He was on the warm-up track as well, but I have a feeling he'll warm up himself, so he'll be all right. But already you can see that Master 52 with an atrocious time is still better than mine.
So, in a sense, not atrocious.
No.
So, guys, remind me of some of the lingo. I remember bumps, scrubs.
Yeah, so let me talk you through the track on the left guy here.
Yeah.
So the beginning here, what you want to do is wheelie. You're going to scrub that bump, which will give you enough speed here to hit this giant double. You want to land on the backside like he did right there. And then this is going to put you into a line here, which eventually puts you on a table section, which we have to do what you call a seat bounce. Which, he failed to do there, and he restarted. But you'll see them, if he can get the seat bounce, you got to do like 3 in a row.
I found seat bounces one of the hardest sort of skills to really master, because there's like this there's a very specific sort of like timing to it, right?
Yeah.
And like if you get it wrong, you just kind of thud and you lose lots of speed.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it correctly and you hit it with that pinpoint accuracy, you carry that momentum through, right? Do correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, he did it pretty good that lap. He's going for lap 2 here. We'll see if he can do it. He missed the wheelie, so he's not going to be able to hit the fast line. Landed on top. Ooh, cased a little.
Big fan of table sections as well. I really like sort of like when you glide across a few tables perfectly. It's very, very satisfying.
Yeah, it feels so good.
Yeah,
that's my absolute favorite element as well.
Yeah.
And whenever I design a track, I've designed very few. They're littered with tables.
I've just realised we've got like some hip hop or something blasting in the studio. I think that's pretty sick for the players. You know, it's kind of intense.
We have a mixtape of a few different genres.
Okay.
Top two are brand new to the World Championship. Cole and Solmek.
Okay.
Rookies are taking the lead right now.
Yeah, both with times in the 56. And then...
it's fast.
Yeah, then we see 3 farm riders in the 57s.
Less than 5 minutes in, they're already faster than my time was.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can see by the times posted that the right image is in fact Julito and not Zach.
Okay, so the right one's Julito.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, we've just come into the studio now. There's kind of lost a bit of sound there.
Yeah.
We were a bit unsure what's going on, but we're taking a look at the players and how they're focusing in. We've got Julito on screen to the right. They're always so zoned in when they play. What was the physical ailment that we covered last year of when the thumb of your thumb being pressing too much? What would you call it? You called it like you guys had a name for it where you've been pressing on the screen for so long that your thumb sort of gets sore and stuff.
I forget what we were calling it, but by the end of this day, these guys are all going to have an indentation on their thumb.
Yeah, indeed.
Calluses.
I remember Master spoke about that. He's like, it's a real issue that like for a long session it can be pretty exhausting and it can affect like the fidelity of when you're pressing the buttons.
So it looks like we got the correct names up here now for who we were watching earlier.
Okay, so it was JSL 199 on the left and Julito on the right. Our two Latin guys. Let's see. There's anything in the chat.
Yeah, so do we have any familiar names in the chat? I know you guys have a very close-knit community at the top level of this game, and they like to get involved. They were watching last year. Anyone that you recognise, Birdshaw, or any questions?
Oh, for sure. We have a lot of regulars. We have old Mr. Dutchman. We have Souls, Cosmic Energy, Lopeteo.
I remember
Vega,
Dutchman
Bullfrog.
from last year.
Yeah. I've actually made him a mod because I have to be here. I can't mod the chat myself, so I've made him a mod. So I can't time him out. It sucks actually. And we have Bob here.
Bob. All right, so it's Zach that's moved up into first place now.
Of course.
56.197. You think that these guys might cap out in the 55s? Is there any chance it could go a bit lower?
Yeah,
I think. I mean, I haven't seen Zach's run, but I bet we could get a high 50s, 55.
High 55s, okay.
See, James is still struggling a bit. He's all the way down in 9.
Top
Going to
four.
take a look at the top 4 now, compare their ghosts.
We have closest to the screen, it's Bragstad with his golden helmet from 2 years ago. CSE is all the way in the back,
Yeah.
I think.
Zach had a really fast start to this track, and then the others catch up with him slightly, but I guess he's just going to hold on to the lead. Look at those seat bounces.
Yeah, that's a nice pass.
Whoop-ons.
Yeah.
Is that what we called it last track?
Whoop-on.
Whoop-buns, yeah.
See here, you got the scrub on the bump
I
lap
hate
2,
whoops, man.
which
I hate
put him
them.
into the right line.
Wow, he's so far ahead at this point.
Here's right here the seat bounces. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's perfectly.
Yeah, when those seat bounces are perfect and they just slightly caress,
Bit
you
of
know.
time on the big whoops.
Okay,
Right.
interesting to see those ghosts compared.
Oh.
Definitely some time that can be made up in...
Oh, for sure. 36 minutes to go. We're going to see
Some
the times
instances.
drop.
Like, all these guys probably figured out the line already. Now it's just who can really nail it down.
Yeah. Still a big spread, though. 4 seconds from Master 52, who's taking the lead. Oh, Peralta just snatching it away with a 55.6 time.
He just improved his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, 55.6.
That's fast.
Okay.
Low. How is Lorenzo doing? He is
Struggling a bit.
Yeah, in 10th place at the moment.
And mind you, that's not a bad time at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I remember, look, Lorenzo was here last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know him as Lolo then. I knew him as Lorenzo. We mainly called him Lorenzo then, right? By his first name.
Well, people usually call him Lolo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why then. I just recall him by his first name.
Well, I usually just cuss him out, but I'll
That's
refrain
not
from that on
good.
screen.
We'll save that for tonight, guys,
Yeah.
after the show, you know, when we're out chilling. Dinner and a beer.
Lolo is enjoying Stockholm as always. Let's
Good.
just say that.
He should. I mean, that's part of the experience, right? You come here primarily to compete and put your mad skills on the line, but you should still enjoy the opportunity to travel and see the beautiful city that is Stockholm.
Yeah.
Like Nate's got a good time. He had a good scrub right there going into the whoops, carrying the speed. Back tire. You got to land in a wheelie
Held
for
it
lap
nicely.
2. All right, he's got a good wheelie lap
Yeah.
2. He's going to hit the scrub. It's shaping up to be a nice run if he can clear that. Yep. Go, seat bounces. So far, so good.
All wheelied.
Pulling it together. Beautiful.
It's beautiful style there.
Yeah, he's definitely going to move up on this one.
Yeah,
These whoops aren't too hard. Once you get to these whoops, it's home free.
lost a bit of time there. Still a massive improvement there. He's looking pretty happy with himself as well. I don't blame him.
6.4. That bumped him up pretty far.
Whoa.
Up to 5th place.
Good time. Good time.
Look at these whoops. Oh, man.
Now Lolo's got a burner.
Yeah.
Hold the wheelie. Yep, got the wheelie. Ooh, but he didn't scrub. I think he's still going to make it.
I think he's going to make it.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he almost overshot it. Carrying immense speed there.
Go. Here's the seat bounce section.
Right now, he's about a second and a half ahead of
Flipped
himself.
a little, but he's still good.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh.
Lost him.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. He's losing time. Yeah, about half a second, I think.
Come in there with
He might pass Elite, though, but
57.
yeah, he just moved up one spot.
Yeah. So how are things, guys, at Turborilla at the moment? You brought more of the team with you this time.
Yeah, we got a few of us here, but things are good. We're a lot of things happening. Working on Mad Skills Motocross 3.
Yep.
Working on some other stuff for Mad Skills Motocross 2 that'll be coming out this summer. More on that later.
Nice.
It's been fun, busy time.
Yeah, and we have the creator of the series here, as always, which is nice to see. We had an interview last year.
Yeah,
Tobias.
Tobias, exactly. It's always nice to chat to him, and he's rightfully very proud of his creation, how much it's being enjoyed across the world, and I love the fact that I don't know who at Turborilla decided to give it sort of like an event side. I think it's great, and the competition has been fierce every year, and it's just a cool thing to see, you know, Mad Skills being played at the highest level in a studio.
It is fun.
Watching it live, it genuinely gave me an interest in the game. I went and played it myself afterwards.
I think the main thing that amazes me is that we still have such a large player base after 5 years on a mobile game.
Oh, yeah.
Still great community interaction, racing on the highest level. That's rare for a mobile game this old. We're going strong. So we have Nate doing very well going into lap 2. Gets the scrub. Make the lip. Nice scrub there. Oh, scrubbed it too hard.
And he's back in the studio. Just was doing some DIY there, guys.
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Don't mind me. Don't mind Uncle Parler. Going around the house, fixing stuff.
Lolo doing a little unintentional back scrub there.
Joe, might I ask you to clip me up?
Anytime.
Thank you very much. Here we go. Current top 3. Comparing their ghosts here.
So we have Peralta in the green. I think we'll see him retain the speed that Zach lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
See him absolutely shredding those.
And then Cole
Big
out of shot right now, right?
Yeah. A little bit of backwards there.
Really intense in the studio right now. We've moved on from hippity hop to rocky sort of in. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have some Indian flavor later.
I'd like that, you know. Being half Indian myself, I'm happy to spread the culture. Some Indian flavour. We also have some Indian flavour for lunch with the wraps that we had.
Very good. And we have Bob in chat complaining that it's early. He's in Washington, so it's 5 a.m. for him. So
Sorry, Bob, but it's worth it. Totally worth it. So this is Peralta, correct?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're taking a look at his run. And it looks like... So Zach gets a better early section, but then Peralta, there's that moment where he sort of...
Yeah,
it's this section here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially
Skimmed right
on lap 2. Look at him. He uses his front wheel to pop him up on the back.
Yeah. And that's a really that's a good way to approach that section, right?
Yeah.
It seems like the optimal one at the moment. Joe, maybe you can shed some light on it.
Yeah, I mean, the key is to go as fast as you can, and if you can just back tire bounce on all those and skim over them.
It, yeah.
The more whoops you can skip, the better.
Yeah.
Go, so 2 of the... you guys have been here for all 3 World Championship right here.
And Bragstad, he was actually riding motocross when he was a kid, right? I think he
Both of these guys
Oh, okay.
rode motocross, yeah.
Nice. And Zach's dad is the one that owns a racetrack,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. California, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Currently, James is in 4th, and Patrick, he...
50.
Now we can see our
4th and 5th.
our leaderboard from 1st to 12th is only separated, I say only, but it's 2 seconds, which technically in mad skills terms is quite a bit.
It is.
It is.
But yeah, 2 seconds between all our placings right now.
The top 3 are in the 55s, like we were talking.
Yeah. And Peralta on new, well, I say new blood because he's new to me and he's new to the World Championship, but you say he's been playing for many years, you've kind of kept an eye on him.
Yeah,
and so you're not surprised that he's here. Can you expand a bit upon that?
Well, we had tournaments in the first Mad Skills, and he won them all, I think.
Oh, Peralta we're talking about.
Oh, Peralta.
Peralta.
Yeah, he's been consistent for many years. He almost made it last year, and this year he was actually able to just edge on in. He's had quite a travel here from the Philippines.
I'm sure.
But he's super stoked to be here. I think he was a little bit nervous, but it seems like he's shaking that very well.
Yeah.
James does here in these whoops. Lap 2 down.
And James has steadily climbed up now into 5th position, so
yeah, that's his
just on the
style.
brink of the 55.
Accidental scrub there, so it's a restart.
Just stretching his fingers
a
a
break.
bit.
Yeah.
A bit of a
right
fun
there,
stat.
smoking the whoops.
A bit of a fun fact about James is that he's an excellent bowler.
Who?
Master 52.
Okay.
Last week he actually bowled a 300.
No way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He bowls granny style, but it works.
Is that like the two-handed?
It's like a new two-hand.
Yeah.
He says it's a new way to do it, but I think it's granny style. It's weird.
I know. I mean, I'm not too clued up on the culture and technique of bowling, like, but I've bowled like a decent amount in my life. Like, I like to do it with friends or whatever, recreationally. But that two-handed thing, isn't there like a really famous bowler, one of the most successful, who does that? He does the two-handed thing and then spins it.
I'm not sure, but...
okay, apparently I know more about bowling culture than you guys. But there's a guy, I think he's Australian or something, really, like one of the best bowlers in the world. He's Australian-American, he does the two-handed thing. So don't knock it before you tried it, guys.
All right.
All right, granny style is up there.
It's true, I've never bowled a 300, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
I've barely bowled 100.
Oh, dude, my average is probably like 80 or something, like it's awful. So talking about Master, I know that he was one of the earliest players to sort of catch on to your cash mode. Who over the last year has been killing it in cash?
Zach and Julito, actually.
Okay.
They are consistently on the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah, I mean, are you allowed, firstly, but also do you have figures on how they've done over the last year in terms of cash?
I don't have the overall figures, but...
are we allowed to talk about that, Joe? Is that okay? I just think it's interesting.
There's a leaderboard in the game that tells how much you made in the last 7 days.
Yeah, I think
nice.
Zach is usually around 1,500 euro in winnings a week.
A week?
A week. So...
a week?
A week. Well, that only counts the winnings. It doesn't count his spending.
Oh, okay.
So he might have spent...
It's not his net. But
not his net, but that's still...
he is pulling a good amount of cash.
That's like, and converting to dollars even like slightly more.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. That's like 6,000 euros a month.
Yeah.
Of earnings from it.
Yeah.
Not net, but yeah, that's really cool. I remember that was one of the things that surprised me so much when when you guys clued me up on the game. You said there was this cash mode. Yeah, that's really cool.
There's definitely,
especially for a young guy like Zach.
Yeah. And I actually think he's saving all of it.
I remember that from last year.
So,
James has got a decent run here. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch his old run, but we'll see.
Make a little bit of a case there. I don't think he's going to catch it.
I don't know what his whoop run was like in his other run, but if it was poor and he can do this, then he might be able to pass, but nope.
No, his whoops are good. His whoops are good. So he's going to be ahead coming into the whoops if he's going to improve. And we have CSE back on top. The 55.254.
About halfway through the round.
That's half a second ahead of Peralta. That's a beast of a time.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a big lead at this point as well, considering, like you've just said, Joe, we're halfway through the round.
Lito just improved. He's in second.
Yeah. They are going hard.
That wheelie from Bregstad.
Surprised to see Colin.
Is there anyone that you could point out in our lineup of who you think is the most gifted technically? Who just is like, you know, each of the skills required, they nail things most of the time. Is there anyone that stands out?
I mean, to me, I think everyone's probably got their own opinion on this, but to me, I think Bragstad stands out.
Yeah.
He always seems to be doing crazy cutler flips and other
The cutler flip, I remember that, where you basically almost go, well, you invert yourself and then come back round, right?
There's that, and then there's also a cutler flip is where you purposely do a front flip so that you can smack your back tire on something to bounce up over an obstacle.
Yeah, I confused the two. Yeah, I remember that.
Zach ended up doing it in the final last year.
I remember, yeah.
And he actually purposely changed his throttle method to auto throttle in order to be able to flip faster.
Yeah.
Because you can tap the brake more easily on auto throttle. I don't think any of the players are using auto throttle.
I think some of them do.
Okay.
You can see their buttons on the screen and their actual presses.
Yeah, you can actually see Seeley is using the auto.
He uses auto.
Yeah.
You can tell because his buttons on the left, one is red and one is like an amber yellowish color. Yeah. If you use the regular throttle, it'll be red and green.
Yeah. The bottom one, the amber button, it idles the motorcycle.
It idles the engine.
Yeah. And throttle control is so important in this game.
Also, see, they all have different positions. So some of these guys will put their elbows on the table and have the phone right in front of their face. Other, like Zach, you know, like to hold the phone down, slouch over the phone. It's interesting to see some of the different positions. I think one of them hold the phone like sideways. It might be
sideways.
Maybe it was a player from a different year, but one of them he had like a weird angle to it all the time.
Yeah.
During warm-up, so Scrubsalot was all the way back with his feet on the table and the phone right in the face.
Got Zach on the right-hand side of the screen. He's trying to catch up with the ghost of Christmas past right now. He's going to spin out there.
Bonk.
Let's keep on board with him as he resets. At which point in his 2 laps now can he actually improve? That's the question. At 55.254, it's going to be tough considering your estimate of the times that these guys could make potentially. Because we're already there. We're in the estimate.
Took a little bit of a different line there. Turning out not to be much faster, about the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Zach's topped out, but
close.
His potential is almost limitless. I think he can take the whoops a little bit faster, but it's still a very, very good section for him on the Ghost. Seeley has some work to do. He's all the way down in 9th right now.
Case that slightly at the bottom, yeah, overshot or something. Always feel free to correct me on my lingo, guys.
No problem.
The case is when you're trying to go over a lip and then you accidentally hit it, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, so no, in which case, the other thing, I feel like he overshot when he was going.
Which case?
Sorry?
Which case?
Which case?
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 Oh, okay. We're memeing.
Case closed.
The case closed. You beat me to it, Birdshaw. Birdshaw, the main man, the bird box.
So who do we got here? In the back is Zach. In the middle, I believe, is Peralta.
No, Peralta's on front.
Who's middle?
Wait, isn't Zach
Julito.
red with blue?
There you go. Got it there. Yeah, Zach is red with blue.
Yeah.
Julito, we got the yellow wheels.
Golden boy.
And
Peralta with the green.
Peralta's the one that disappeared.
Goodbye, Peralta.
Got the skills. That crushing.
These guys taking the same line at this point, right?
See him lean forward before the whoops.
Yeah.
That's a method a lot of these guys use.
It's preloading his front wheel to have it pop up. You can see there's a bit of a case on the middle whoop there. So there's definitely time to be made.
Virtual, that was going to be my first bit of like actual critical analysis with the correct lingo, and you've just taken you've stolen my thunder, man. Completely.
Yeah. A jerk like that.
I'll be here all weekend.
Missing Justin, it would have been nice to have him back as well. Last championship, we had Birdshaw, Joe, and Justin here. I hope he's happy back home.
3 annoying chihuahuas.
Yeah, I've been on his case pretty hard about not being here.
Yeah. Would have been great. I'm sure he'll tune in. Hopefully we'll see him in the chat.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get him on the phone for a little cheeky.
Oh.
I'm not sure if the technology's there, but a phone interview would be amazing. Producer Nicholas, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So why is Zach continuing with this run here? Has he found different? Is he on a different line?
He is actually on a slightly different line.
He is on a different line.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think there's any way he's going to be catching it on this run.
Nope.
Whoopans.
Got his cloth. You see him drying his hands.
Yeah.
Palms are sweaty.
Knees weak.
Spaghetti.
Arms are heavy comes first, but then, yeah.
Arms are ready.
There we go. That's the Mad Skills version.
And we actually do have Mr. On the Front Line in the chat. Hello there, Justin. We miss you.
Good to see you, Justin. We'll hear from you. Hope you're well. I remember our night out in Stockholm last year. That was fun. Got some beers, played some blackjack. I think my blackjack went horribly, if you can remind me, Justin. Do you remember?
Did.
Joe, thank you, Joe. Yeah.
I remember you being up, and then I popped out to call my wife, and 10 minutes later, you were sitting with the rest of us.
Yeah, well, there we go. Such is life. Such is life. Up and down it can be, just like Mad Skills.
Zach is on an absolute burner right now.
I don't think this lap 2's not looking good. The wrong line. That's going to pop him up. Oh, but he did a back scrub, so it was okay.
I don't think it's a bad line. But I think he's exploring that line because he can't see himself improve on the main one.
Master up in third now. Over Julito.
At this point in a run for someone like Zach, does he have to get very creative to try to improve his time? I mean, Joe, you'll know, is there a faster line than the one that he's already nailed?
I mean, this track's pretty basic. There's a couple lines, but it kind of... Both of the lines in the beginning throw you into the same line at the second half of the track. But I really think the line that I designed, which is the line he's currently on, is...
A little bit of a case there, and again...
Yeah, that's what slowed him down.
Yeah.
Scrub.
Too high. Yeah.
Too high.
That's going to kill his run.
He's taking it very seriously, though, you can tell. True Zach fashion. Exciting happening in chat, Bertrand?
No, it's more or less shout-outs. A bit of banter going on.
About Dutchman's mom?
Not right
Not
at
yet?
this moment, but I'm sure she'll come up later.
Zele in second place now. Peralta's fallen down to 7th. It's so close at this point between the top three. I mean, we do see a difference that's going to be hard to make up, but if those guys really nail their lines, then potentially we'll see a dash to the finish at the end where everyone's closing in on each other. Zach is getting off to the start of the tournament. Zach is starting off this tournament exactly how he'd hoped. You know, you come in as the returning champ, and you stamp your authority, and you're in first place for the majority of this first track. So we'll see if he can hold on to this lead with 12 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day for the rest of them if Zach can just keep on crushing.
I like Cole's skins he's got here.
It's
the red and black.
It's super tight.
Looking good. Peralta improved his score.
Yeah, moved up a spot, up into 5 with a 55.6.
Look at all the guys in 55.
They are
all but
closing
the bottom
in on,
3
on each other. Wow. I think it's surprising to me to see Cole so far down the list.
Me too.
That Lolo and Scrubs and Soul Maker down there, that's not too surprising for me. But Cole's got more in him. Sure.
Maybe, you know, this is his first race ever in a world championship. Different format than he's used to. You know, maybe he's just got to get the first one out under his belt, and then he'll there.
Yeah, it's a big scene for a young guy.
This is the easiest track these guys face, so it only gets harder from here.
Yeah, and perhaps harder is better for
That's
Cole.
true. Sometimes some of these guys will do better on a harder one.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is it because it brings more out of them? It challenges them more, so it sort of like ups the intensity?
A lot of these guys hate the easy tracks because it's really hard to differentiate yourself from everyone else when there's not a lot of technical, difficult objects or, things to do in the track. The races are always way closer that way, tighter, and it's you got to really get everything just perfectly to really shine. Where if it's a really hard track, it's more about just being consistent all the way through the whole track, maybe not being perfect.
And let's take a look at the leaderboard for Real Peach and focus in on Master, who started off in bottom position, I think, or very near, at the very bottom, and has now creeped his way up into third. That's very steady. I think that's exactly how he was playing last year. He doesn't try to rush anything too soon. He makes those steady gains and improvements as he learns the track and sort of perfects it. I would imagine, because he's one of the older participants here, he's quite experienced, and in that sense I think maybe that could be a strategy of his. I'd like to ask him about it in terms of his approach. Just, is that his style, is he goes to the track and methodically goes to it, or goes through it, as opposed to just rushing in and trying to crush it straight away?
Him and I talked about this at breakfast, actually.
Oh, well, there we go.
And he told me his strategy
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
Yeah. He told me his strategy is, in the beginning, basically to find a line. Maybe not the best, but just find a line and then spend a lot of time getting the best time he can on that line. And then maybe halfway through the round, start exploring other lines. And if he finds another line, throw some time into that one. So he kind of does methodically go through it.
There we go. Detective Parler on the case. And yeah, Joe, we are in the same hotel, mate, so don't be afraid to reach out, I'm just saying, also tried to see you last night and kind of flaked on me, so just not getting the best vibe here.
Okay, yeah, I think the issue was I went to bed early like an old man.
Yeah, I went to bed. Tonight, guys, we'll chill.
Tonight it is.
Food and drinks.
I'll make sure to tuck you in tonight and then wake you up and bring you to breakfast.
I'll be okay on my own for that.
Okay.
Breakfast in the morning, Papa, would be great. I've got to say, the guys at Turborilla are fantastic to all of you, ladies and gentlemen at home. It's a good thing to keep playing and supporting their game, not only just because it is a fantastic title, but the people behind it are passionate, they're funny, they enjoy what they do, and they want you guys to have a good time. So yeah, keep supporting, keep playing. I'm definitely going to be jumping back on, maybe even during and after. I'd love to do a show match versus Joe, man, showing my skills.
Yeah, we could do it.
We could make that happen.
I get absolutely crushed.
I think you'd have better luck against me.
I feel like I'd still have a bit of muscle memory. No, Birdshaw, you'd crush me as well, mate. But it'd be funny. Could definitely spin that into some sort of entertaining content.
I think perhaps me versus Joe, that'd be
close.
Yeah.
You're probably better than me, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't play as much as I used to.
I play mostly, so when I make these tracks, I'm actually doing it on a computer. And when I test them and play, I'm playing on a keyboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm actually really good on the computer because I spend the majority of my time on the computer editing and testing. So I use the arrow keys to play the game, so on the phone. I'm pretty good on the phone too, but if I played against any of these guys on the computer, I'd probably smoke them.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I complain about track being too hard or too stupid or whatever, I always get, well, it played completely different on the PC.
Yeah. It's always a good excuse.
There's no changes in the top 3 or top 4. Well, there are changes in the top 5 now. Peralta's moved back up into 5th. As I say that.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy.
And Cole just moved.
Down to 6th. Cole there comes up into 5th. Helito seems to be... Oh, Helito is... Dude, between Master, Helito, and Cole, look at the difference. Master and Helito, what is that? Is that like a thousand?
A thousandth of a second.
My list coming through there. But it's a thousand... I'm not... Can you say it for me?
1,000... It's really hard to say. I can't do it either.
Of a second. Yeah. 1,000th of a second, I think, is the difference. Put my tongue back in my mouth.
It is very, very close. Actually,
Look at James here, though.
That is such a hard word to say.
It really is. I didn't realize it till now.
Thousandths a second. I'm the only non-native.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1,000.
there.
There we go,
Say it.
1,000. It's coming out. I've just been vocally coached by Birdshaw. This is great.
James.
By the Dane.
Look at the wheelie pro, though. Look at that.
And it is actually possible to
Nice
have
scrub.
an identical time down to the first 3 decimals. But we actually measure the time with 7 decimals. So it's never a true tie.
Yeah. James on a slightly different line here. Oh no, he was on the same line but just slightly slower.
It's a botched line.
If it maybe got those whoops at the end a bit better, he could have maybe popped ahead of his shadow,
Yeah.
his ghost.
I think if these guys have a complaint at the end of this track, it's going to be the whoops. And
The
not
whoop
the
bands.
first set, but when the bigger roller style whoops towards the end, I think are what's kind of ruining a lot of runs here.
Well, there are Joe bumps.
Joe bumps, I remember that phraseology. Joe bumps.
Big and nasty and uneven and just downright unpleasant. Like Joe.
Joe bumps, but he doesn't call you to breakfast after.
Shame.
No. Disappointed. That's going to be my meme for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, Jesus! Thanks for that. So David, our content guy, just snuck up behind me and stroked my ribs. That was extremely creepy. Yeah. Nicholas, producer Nicholas, that was David, right? He's fired. Brilliant.
hashtag fired.
Hashtag. Remember hashtag MSMWC in either our Twitch or YouTube chat or on Twitter. Remember, questions, we're open to them. Anything you'd like to ask any of us on the desk. In the closing moments now.
Less than 4 minutes to go.
Less than 4 minutes. And how long does the track takes a minute? So you've only got a few more tries, whole tries anyway.
Yeah, only 3 full runs they could possibly get here.
Yeah.
Dutchman is asking how many Bob Ross shirts Zach own. I'm not quite sure. I think it's a lot.
That can prove even more.
Okay. We're going to talk to Zealey for an interview. Zele after the track.
Zach with a nice scrub there. And you can see he's taking another line, but it's not looking faster.
Really got those tables down, though.
Yeah.
Got that scrub down.
All comes down to the whoops here.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Definitely the run to build on.
Nice scrub there.
Very, very nice scrub.
Yep, that was real good. Now he's even.
Stretches over the lip.
Ooh, missed that.
Yeah, he accidentally seat bounced out of
Went
that.
a little, went a little too high there.
Yeah.
We are de-chairing, getting ready for our post-first track desk segment.
Next
2
up,
minutes
Oh, good.
remaining, ladies and gentlemen. We're on board with Zach and Zeli. Not sure if Zach can improve at this point. He's up there in first place and he's done a fantastic job, held the lead for the majority of the time. If either of these guys cancel their runs now, you pretty much only have 2 more opportunities at best if you're running it out completely. These are the moments, the clutch moments that can count. Zealey also trying to make some final improvements. The leaderboard now gone. We will confirm it all for you after. Everybody at home exactly where everybody is placed.
Ellie looking good.
Eesh.
Never mind.
There
Joe
we
Bumps
go.
Took him out.
The Joe bumps.
You're welcome.
Just about wrapping up the last runs here.
Indeed. 1 minute now left on the clock. If you want to get one final stab at this two-lapper, you've got to take the opportunity right about now. Zach would literally need to have a perfect run to get this time. Otherwise, it's all said and done.
I think he's still in first, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no, indeed.
Well,
but if he wants to do it,
he's going to
mess it up. Yep.
That's
it for him.
Can't make it now.
Yeah.
And you can see CC has downed his phone as well.
Yeah, hanging up the phone. Everybody going to be stretching out their fingers, recuperating. I'm really excited to see what the placings are. It was a good development in terms of the placings, I think, where we saw a lot of people swapping positions. A lot of people shared the limelight for a bit, those top 3, top 5 positions. And then probably about halfway through, we sort of saw things settle.
Yeah.
And then it was like the top 3 didn't move so much. The top 5 stayed relatively set. But
and
who knows exactly where we are right now. Congratulations to our participants on that first track. And a nice track, Joe. Congratulations to you on building
Thanks.
that. Always like seeing your work and playing it. Well, not always. Sometimes it's quite treacherous and annoying. But always enjoyable to kind of see these guys tackling those tough challenges you put ahead of them. And here we go. All the top times against each other. The madness in full motion. I see Bragstad right there at the front. Our Red Rider, is that... I'm not entirely sure who the completely Red Rider is, but
that's Cole.
It's Cole, and then Helito next to him, getting off to a great start. Zach moving up into second. I think it's here where he starts getting that lead, which he keeps for the rest of the run.
It's the Joe Bumps.
The Joe Bumps.
And we have Braggy coming.
Oh, Braggy was really far ahead.
Into track 2.
So is it Bragstad that ended up in... Did he end up in...
No.
Oh, hi, so we've got a microphone for you. You can stand right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have our guest on the desk now, but let's finish taking a look at...
We'll see Braggy messing up the whoops.
There we go.
Yeah.
So if Bragstad had kept the rest of that run clean, would he had a sub 55?
It's not impossible.
Because he was quite a way ahead there.
Yeah.
Either way, there we go. We're going to get the leaderboard up on screen. Oh, Master came in first.
Oh, wow.
He popped it at the finish.
Wow.
Slightly missed that. And then it was Zach Zelle, who's on the desk with us now in third. Helito, Cole, Peralta. Then NR 502. Bragstad ended up dropping into 8th.
That's clutch.
Did he?
Giselle, Lorenzo.
I wonder if he played after the buzzer.
Yeah, we're going to have a final look at that.
That red light means that we are now on screen. Of course, we have that to see in front of us. Welcome back to the desk, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Zelle joining us now. Good to see you. How have you been over the last year?
I've been good, thanks for asking. How about you?
Yeah, really good, man. It's nice to be back, and congratulations on third place on the first track. Give us your overall thoughts and rundown of that track and how it went.
Alright, at the beginning I was really nervous. I didn't seem to find the good line. I was trying to do this one wheelie after the first jump, but I couldn't manage it, and then I realized there's another line which is way more solid, and then I just went for that. Then I knew I got a decent time and get being more relaxed, you know.
Okay, nice. So you had those sort of... Oh, and we have your demo up on screen. Do you want to talk us through what's going on?
Oh yeah, so I think I got my time on auto, but I've always been more comfortable with normal setting on the whoops, and it feels kind of awkward with auto there. So I tried to switch it in the middle of the run or something like that.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
you actually switched up your control scheme during the play to test out what could fit better for you on this track. Do you do that often?
Yeah, I do that often, but I don't know if it was even better for this one. But I got pretty decent time, so I'm really happy about this. So
Nice.
third place is good place to start. I'm really
Very
happy.
good, yeah.
Definitely, I mean, at the start of a tournament, it gives you some confidence going forwards, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're just all testing out who's fast today, you know, and just have no idea. And now it gets a little bit, you know. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Sorry, Joe. Please jump in.
In my opinion, that's the easiest track. So how do you feel going forward knowing that everything else is harder?
I'm a bit scared, to be honest. I know there's some few guys here that like the hard tracks, so I really don't know what's going to happen.
Do you have any questions for Joe Zele that you'd like to ask about what could be coming up, or just anything about Mad Skills? Because of course you get that, to have that direct dialogue with him right now.
I hope you don't. I hope you haven't designed like really hard tracks for you.
Yeah. I hope I did.
Sorry to disappoint you, silly man.
Oh shit.
I don't think there's nothing quite as bad as Fever from the first year. I don't know if you remember that. But I think this year's harder in a different way, that some of the tracks are longer.
Oh yeah, okay. The longer is kind of hard. You gotta focus really hard to remember. And for me, it's really good to have shorter tracks because I can get a good start. I'm really comfortable with that, and I just try to get a good start. And then if I'm ahead, it's really good for me. So it's longer. Is a bit harder for me, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes.
It's tough too because some of these tracks were made by two people and then we combine them. So it's like two tracks in one where
the style can change suddenly, right?
Exactly. So you kind of find the line, and then you get halfway through, and the style changes, and you're like, it's kind of confusing, and you got to like refigure out, because you guys probably can tell some of these designers before we even tell you who made the track, just based on the style. But some of those team tracks are going to be tough. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for your thoughts. Final question to you, Zele, before we head for a break. Just what's it like to be here and meet the rest of the guys again, and then just be here in Stockholm?
Oh, I'm just so honored to be here the second time again. I want to thank to all Turborilla and Jay Lute for having me here again. I'm just stoked. Meeting the guys is real nice. They're really good guys. But I hope I win them, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You compete with them, but at the same time, you have that sort of family vibe where you're around other people like you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Most of these guys ride motocross, and I've been riding motocross in my early young when I was teen, so people really similar. It's nice.
Okay, wicked. Well, best of luck over the rest of the tournament. Strong placing there for Zele at the start. Third place, Master 52 getting first, Zach in second. We'll see you in 6 minutes.